Hello everybody, you're here with Claro Beauty with Claudia Lara, your host. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today it's very interesting because there's several things that I want to follow up with. And this is just the way I would like to see the video. So that's why I'm still staying on the Chanel new launch and different questions you have brought up to me. So the first thing I wanted to do, and really it starts with wanting to do it for myself, right? So I hope this is useful. I am wearing two foundations, and you know me, I like doing that, like which one do you like best, sort of thing. So in this case, which one do you like best, and can you tell the difference? So let me tell you what I have on. I have obviously the number one. Do I have number one, the Chanel? This is their new launch skincare routine, and that includes the cleanser and then a toner, which they call it a lotion, and then eye cream, serum, and then face cream. So I apply all of that, and so far I only have tried it 2 days, but I like how my skin feels quite a bit. And after that skin routine, I apply two different kinds of foundations. So in one side, I have the obviously number one, the Chanel new foundation, which is supposed to be in the clean beauty category. They're very big on using this carnelian. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, because as you know, I sometimes miss it. But let me see if it says red camellia. See, I knew it almost. So red camellia, the whole line is based on that flower, which apparently has a lot of properties for skincare, and especially rejuvenating and revitalizing through time, a lot of antioxidants. And so they base the whole line on that, and it's not a new thing. They've been in search and research for over 20 years. And so now they launch it, and they launch it with number one. I love numerology and the significance of numbers. So the fact that they use the number one to this newness, right, of clean beauty, which is, they're not pioneer on this. There's many other brands that have started with that, but apparently us, the population, is catching up, and we are wanting more of this clean beauty. And anyhow, so one of the sides I have that foundation, and the other side I have one of my favorites. If you see my favorite foundations video, I talk throughout brands, but one of my favorites from Chanel is the what is it called? I'm terrible with names. Vitalumiere, the Aqua, which is a ultralight sort of thin foundation. That's how I usually like my foundation. This is why sometimes even a tinted moisturizer, or like the BB creams and CC creams, I struggle with them because of the thickness of them. Of course, I have more SPF, and they're supposed to be better for your skin, but to me, I like very light, and I don't need a lot of coverage. That is true. However, I've tried many foundations where they do accentuate my lines, and they make me look like what I call Cruella looking. And so I have to be careful with that. Now, can you guess? So this is one side, and this is the other side. I was going to show you how I apply it, but pretty much I apply the same thing. As I was applying this side, look a little tiny yellower. I think now that I have it on, maybe just a tiny little bit. This one looks a little more brightening, which makes me look a little healthier. I do like that part. One of my favorite foundation is the Surat Drew Dot foundation, and it has that kind of quality, the brightening, cooler effect instead of the warmer sort of effect. This reminds me of La Mer, which is another one of my big favorites. Give me that yellowish, sort of more golden, warmer look. So, tiling, 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 tiling. All right, so I am wearing the number one Chanel on this side, and this one is the Vitalumiere Aqua. So far, I think, again, we already spoke about the brightening effect. This one, I think, accentuates my line a tiny little bit more than this one. Maybe it has to do with that brightening effect. And it's very interesting because obviously I only wear it for several hours. I think I ended up wearing it for almost 6 hours, the number one. And I'm finding it a little bit of a marriage. This is an interesting, between Sisley L'Essentiel and Lisa Eldridge. And then of course, adding all these healthier qualities to it. Does that make sense? It is lighter than both. So I definitely appreciate that more than the other two. So between the three, Lisa Eldridge, Sisley L'Essentiel, and this one, I would prefer this one. Definitely, because it has both of the qualities. It has the brightening effect that I appreciate. It has the skincare qualities, and it's very light. So there you have it. Now, between this and this, that's going to be a very interesting, because I think I would use this for a more formal. I mean, it's still in the casual wear. You know, I divided my foundations in categories of where or what for I would use it. So this is still in my casual social sort of appearance, wanting to make it, you know, a full makeup, not like a casual day I'm running around, although you could still use it. But in that sense, I think I would use this one instead, especially for the skincare qualities. And this one, I will leave it for a little tiny more formal, or if I'm going to be using a lot of tanning, peachy sort of colors. This one, I like it more for more mauve pinks, things like that, because it has more of a cooler tone. Texture-wise, which is really why we use foundation, I like both. I find, if you notice, this one is accentuated right here and a little bit of the red. This one is a little more blurring, but I think this one blur my skin color a little better. So it's a very, you know, I think it will come down to what is my mood for the day. I like both, but I'm leaning more towards the new one. Again, I haven't worn it enough, so wait for me, because yesterday after the 6 hours, I did find it was accentuating more the lines, the Cruella look. It was towards that way. When the Aqua, this one at the end of the day just looks drier and it dissipates. So yes, the long wearing is not necessarily there like at the beginning of the day, but it's just fading off. This one did look a little more accentuated in my skin. So that is not a good thing. I will keep up and let you know. And I'm talking very, very slightly, not like many of the other foundations that I have that would do that. For example, the Sisley L'Essentiel that I'm mentioning to you, which is a lot of favorite, big time favorite for many people, is not one of my favorites because of the Cruella effect. Now, if you're younger than me and you don't have so many wrinkles, I can see why is one of favorites because of the smoothing, brightening effect. However, it's still sort of thick for me. You know, foundation is a very personal thing, but that's my thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do at this moment. I really appreciate you having you aboard and being part of the community. Please comment below, suggest, request, and I learn a lot from you guys, and I love doing things for you guys, so that's part of this back and forth. And of course, ring the bell on your right hand corner of the screen if you haven't done so. That will let you know every time I upload new videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.